In this video, we're going to talk about playing with audio in Sony Vegas. And here's a fun fact. Sony Vegas originally started out as an audio editing application. It did audio before video, so it's always been really strong when it comes to audio. But I'm going to show you what you need to know in the real world when it comes to working with audio in Sony Vegas. So I'm going to take my video clip here and pull it down to the timeline. Again, we've got our video track here, our audio track here, and we've got the squiggly lines, which are waveforms, which indicate sound. And just real quickly, what I will do is I will trim this clip so it makes a little more sense. I will pull it over here to the very beginning. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about audio is this guy right here, which is basically our master audio meter. And if I play this video,
okay, so
what you'll see is these meters bounce up and down.
What are they going to be about?
And in terms of audio level, what's the right volume for your videos? What you want to do is watch these numbers, and you want this audio to kind of peak between the 12 and the 6. It's okay if it spikes up to the 3 every once in a while, but we're trying to keep it between this 12 and the 6. And if it's mostly hovering around there, we're good. So in this example, this audio is good, and there's nothing that I really need to tweak with it. But I'll go ahead and stop this. Now let's say the audio was too loud. It was always peaking at the top, or it was too low. It was way down here. The way we would adjust this, and I'll go ahead and play this again, is by this slider over here. We don't want to use the sliders right here, the faders. This is the master meter. This is going to adjust the audio level for everything in the timeline. And you want to get in the habit of only adjusting the audio for the particular audio track. Okay, so I'll play this guy.
Okay, so what are the
let's say I want to make him lower.
Okay,
I can go over here and click and drag down. You see it gets much lower, or I can go the opposite way where it peaks way too high, or if I want to go back to 0,
how to do stuff,
I can double click on this guy. So that's how easily we can quickly change the volume for individual audio files in Vegas.
What you'll teach people.
Okay, the next thing we can do is, let's say there's a part of your video where you want to cut the audio out for whatever reason it is. Hey, here I am talking in this video, and at some point maybe I want to add a sound effect or something. So I want to cut the audio, dip the audio of my voice down so another sound could be heard, as an example. So what I'll do is I'm using the scroll wheel on my mouse to zoom in so I can see this waveform. And let's say between right here and right here, I want the audio to basically become silent, my voice to disappear. And the way we do that is with an envelope. And rather than clicking this guy, the simplest way to do this is to go up here. Well, first move your cursor where you want it. Go up here, choose Insert, Audio Envelopes. Whoops, got to make sure your audio track is selected. Duh. Go up, choose Insert, Audio Envelopes, Volume. And you'll see this blue line come across here. And this is where we're going to add some points where we can dip this audio out. And this works a little weird, but it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. So I wanted to start dipping out like right here. So you see my cursor as I move over the line changes to a finger. I'm going to right click, choose Add Point. Right next to it, I'm going to do the same thing. Right click, choose Add Point. I want the audio, the other adjustment to happen like right here. So I'm going to right click, add point, right click, add point. And now what I can do is I move over to the bar in the middle, left click, and pull down. Okay, and the reason I did those 4 points is so it's not an abrupt fade out or fade in, but what will happen here, if I play this and you watch the audio meter and the playhead here,
you can
see it's going, and then it's real low.
You already have a
and then it comes back up again. So that's how we would dip out audio. Now, another thing that I want to show to you is this. I'll get rid of this guy entirely. I'll get rid of this track entirely and this track entirely. And for this one, I'll go ahead and use some screen capture footage like so. So here's our audio file. Another thing that we can do instead of using the slider here is you'll notice this little blue bar here. Okay, we can adjust the audio for our track this way too. If I go up here, my cursor changes to a finger, I can click and drag down. This is how I can reduce the audio level in that track. I can't increase it, but that's another way I can reduce it. And by the way, you can do the same thing with video, but in video, it's simply going to change the opacity, and you'll almost never use this, which is why I really don't mention it until this audio course. So that's another thing you can do. But let me give you another real life example here. Get rid of these guys, right click, choose delete. Okay, real life example is I'm combining clips that were shot from two different sources. So I've got this talking head video of me, and I'll zoom back out here and let me trim this. So I've got this audio or this video clip of me talking, and then I switch over to this screen recording. And again, for this one, I will trim this to the start just so it's a little bit smaller. And basically what will happen is, as I'm switching from one to the other and I watch the audio meter.
Video is where we teach.
Okay,
where
here's
we show
me
people
talking in the video. I'm keeping my eye on this meter.
What I'm going to do is I'm
going to switch over to the second clip, and I want the audio levels to ideally stay the same.
That you can come up
but what happens when I switch over,
boom, everything goes
the audio for the second clip is a little bit lower.
Move everything around.
Okay, now because I have them on the same tracks like this, that's problematic. Okay, because if I try to change the volume here, it's going to change the volume for both clips. If I try to use this trick right here, where I'm pulling this down, yeah, you know what? I could use that, but the problem is on this one, I want the audio to be increased because the audio over here is cool. So what you want to do in that instance is make sure you put these guys on separate tracks. So basically, whenever I'm working with clips shot from two different sources, whether it's from two different cameras or something is a screen recording or something else is a video camera, I put them on different tracks. So what I would do, so I'll pull this up, is I want this clip on these two tracks, and when I pull this clip down, I want to pull it below them like this. Okay, now I can adjust the audio separately between these two because they're each on their own track. See how that works? So for this one, the audio needs to be bumped up. So I can bump it up to right there. And I would simply
Sony Vegas
watch my audio meter. I know everything's a little bit reduced on my screen, but I can adjust it, increase the volume a little bit like that until I get it to match this clip that's over here. That's how we would do that. Okay, now the final thing I want to show you is if you want to record audio while you're working in Sony Vegas. Say, for example, I've got this clip right here. I'll pull it down to the timeline, and it doesn't have any audio. And it's a clip of a lady doing some yoga. Well, let's say I wanted to add a voiceover to this. Okay, the way I would do this is I would go down here in my header area. I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert an audio track. And here I've got a number of options, and I've got some options over here that I haven't talked about yet for the video, but down here for audio, I've got this one, arm for record. And what I can do is I can click this and it's going to come up and say, hey, where do you want to save this audio recording to on your hard drive? You'd select where you want to save it and click OK. And now you see as I'm talking here, you can see my voice in the meter, but it's not actually recording audio yet. We're not live yet. Okay, but when I go up here and click this guy, that's the record button. So if I click this, I can say, okay, watch your prana as you lean back. Now lean forward and lift your leg and grab your toes. Okay, as an example. Okay, when I'm done recording, I click this guy again. It's going to come up and say, hey, do you want to save this file or are you done? Or you want me to delete it? I'm going to choose done. Okay, this gets added to my project. Here's the file right here. And as I continue to talk, you can see this meter. I can click it again to disarm it. And then when I play this video, I've got my voiceover that will follow along with the clip. So that's how you would record your own audio in Sony Vegas. And in the real world, that's what you need to know about audio in Sony Vegas.